Flight boss, bitch. It's the mind of an Antares Moon. Broadcasting live from Draco. You know what I'm saying? What could I say, man? You know, niggas. I want everybody to follow me. Niggas follow this nigga every day. Niggas follow that nigga every day. It's the mind of a Terry's Moon, man. You know, for sure. You know, fuck I want to talk about, man. You know, I be freestyling these motherfuckers. Whatever information I get from the universe, that's what I be talking about and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what y'all niggas want to talk about, astrology or some shit like that? Hey, let's talk about houses. I got some other information niggas don't know. Look, I just got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just be getting like, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about motherfucking house placements. House activation, right? Check this out. When niggas say you interact, whoever you interacting with, their sun sign activates a house. So it's like, say you're a person who don't know your rising sign. This will be another way you can calculate your rising sign. Now, all you have to do is know the houses. So if you don't know the time you was born, so you don't know the Pacific time you was born, so you don't know what rising sign you may be, or Pacific degree, because shit like that be important. So you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't know your Pacific time, you ain't gonna know the Pacific degree and all that. So check this out. If you don't know your, just learn the houses. What I do with my fucking ashtray in here? Learn the houses. Learn the first houses, second house, third house, fourth. I got a video that's talking about the houses, and it's based on, I talk about it like it being a house. Here's a quick rundown on it. Okay, the first house, which is Aries. Aries, the houses is different from the constellations. The houses is the energies that's in the positions in the sky. The constellations is the stars and the star systems that formulated out of them energies. So the 12 houses is Aries to Pisces. So the first house. Okay, now if we describing it like a house, this is the way I describe it in my last video. I'm gonna do a quick rundown. The first house is the self. Boom. Say you're a person and you the first person here on earth. Boom. I am. That's the first house. I am. So the first house deals with all yourself, your personality, what you want to show the world when you don't want to let them inside, how you naturally are, things you can't help, but you just that way, your natural being. It's like your soul. So, because that's when the sun was actually rising when you was born. So that's when the sun was actually, you know what I'm saying, where it was rising at. So that's your rising sign, your first house, you know what I'm saying. Second house is like, okay, now you look down and you looking at everything. So these are your possessions you first encounter with, your immediate possessions, your how you figure out what you have and what you can work with. Okay, your third house is communication. It was just the Gemini house. The second house is the Taurus, third house is the Gemini house, which is communication. So now you're communicating your thoughts with the objects you're entwined with now from the second house. Okay, then the fourth house, now you feel like you need to build a home, so you're building like an emotional connection with the houses. You're building a personal connection with the objects you've seen, like cardboard, trees, or whatever you got from the second house. Third house, you're communicating it with thoughts to yourself. This before you get to the outer. Right now is with yourself. That's why a lot of Geminis come across introverted, because when the sun sign Gemini is born within that hemisphere of the sky, when the sun was there, then they carry a lot of the third house traits, and a lot of the third house traits is communication, but within self. You know what I'm saying? So you may be here and here in two different places within your head at one time. All right, now like I said, the fourth house is Cancer. So you're thinking about you building a special bond with what you just ran into or whatever like that. And you could translate this and metaphor and put this in any kind of way, but I'm talking about like as this a person building a house. Okay, now the fifth house is the Leo house, the creativity, the stage, the how you deal with your person and belongings in your home environment, and how the entertainment, how you feel as a person to enjoy what you in and what you feel you need to enjoy it, which is why Leos like to keep their flame lit and like the people to stroke their ego and stuff like that. So it's the creative process of being within the emotional connection from what you got viable to you now from the fourth house. So you come up with a creative way in the fifth house to actually build the house. You know what I'm saying? Because the fourth house, you decided that you want to become a home, like Cancer. That's why Cancers are real home people. Okay, now, the sixth house is Virgo. Now you're putting this into action. You're starting to work now. You're starting to you're doing a daily routine of this creative process of with the equipment you just got from the fifth house. You came up with creative thought. Now the sixth house, you're putting it into action, and you building step by step to get to that goal, which is and you making sure you stay at a regimen, at a pace, at a practical time and place, so you can get this thing put together. Now the seventh house, you build a special relationship with this house you're building. So this is the house of Libra. You built a special relationship for it. You know what I'm saying? So you feel good. You know what I'm saying? That and you develop love for what you're doing. You got love for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? This is another reason why the Venus influence flowing through Libra, which is the seventh house. Okay, the eighth house is Scorpio. Now this is the deep situation. A transformative, a death, rebirth, learning experience. So it's like death don't always deal with actual death. Death is an illusion that people is under paradigms of programs. The Scorpio death and with the ego and all that, to the rise and all that, deals more with transformation. And you could put death to a situation and rebirth another situation. It's basically that's a death. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want people to get misconstrued. So in this eighth house, this would be when you never knew, you just built the house from all the previous houses, and now you're in the eighth house. You built the whole house, right? You had love for it and everything from the last house. Then that love you have for it, this the first time, so you're the first person. From the first house, now we at this house. You're the first person here, you just built a house. For the first time, you experienced a storm. The storm knocks down the house. That's a transformative situation. Now, you're going through a process that you have to experience within the self. It is a transformative situation. But without this situation, you wouldn't know how to get to the next level and stay at the next level without always backtracking. So then that takes us into the ninth house, which is the Sagittarius the Sagittarius house, which is the higher learning. You know what I'm saying? The higher learning, the spirituality, the law given of not law as far as law of the land, but law of the universe. Philosophy and shit like that. So this is the house of Sagittarius. So this is the house that once you went through the storm and got your house knocked down to Sagittarius, through the Scorpio house, which is the eighth house, now you learned that storms will naturally come, and you have enough wisdom to know that you were going to need to build something next time to know that storm's going to come. So now you have the wisdom that storms come now in the ninth house, which takes us to the 10th house, which is the Capricorn house, which is the midheaven, which you built the house sturdy enough this time so it could withstand a storm from what you just learned from the ninth house, because you went through that from the eighth house, and you had a love for what just got destroyed in the seventh house. And the reason you got a love from it in the seventh house, because you built on it and worked on it every day from the sixth house, which is the Virgo house. And you worked on that every day because you came up with a creative thought to work on it every day from the fifth house, which is the Leo house. And you came up with a creative way to come up with something because you know you needed a home, which is the fourth house, it's Cancer. And you know you needed a home because you communicated what you just had and you figured out what cardboards and trees is used for shelter and all that, which is you communicated them thoughts, which is the third. You came up with that thought, which is the third house, Gemini. This is why the intellect. You used your intellect, and reason why you intellect that is because you ran into that because this was all you had. This was your possession. This is what you ran into. This was the first thing you seen that you could work with when you got here. What came from the second house, your possessions, which is the Taurus house, and the Taurus house and. Reason why you seen your possessions to know you even had possessions, because when you got here in the first place to know who you was as a person and know that these are things that could be valuable use, this was in the first house, which is your first house, your personality, your appearance, which is the Aries house. Now let's take us back to the 10th house. You built, after all you learned from the previous houses, you built a sturdy enough house to withstand a storm. Then you go into the 11th house. Now you can tell the community how to build houses that's sturdy enough for storms. And people would think, if you go to a land that didn't have a storm yet and tell these people you should build a house like this, they're going to think you thought of the future or something like that, because you telling them, because you telling them that a storm might come, so you need to work on this house like that. So if a storm actually come and they took your advice, they're gonna thank you, and they're gonna think in their heads like, this nigga must have knew the future. But you're just working in the Aquarius field right now because you learned all the previous houses. You know what I'm saying? This is the Aquarius house right now. You're telling the community what you thought and how what you came up with and how you figure things out, and what could be the good use for future purposes. So it's not that Aquarius is telling the future, it's just that this is the house energy that they're working in. You know what I'm saying? So it appear that way. But it's things that we all should know, which goes into the 12th house, which is the Pisces house. And this is the house when you have the thought process of everything you went through. And now you can decide if you want to do something else or do that. This is why they pull into polar opposites. So it's in a dream state. So, you know what I'm saying? That's like the 12 houses. So let's get into my actual point. I just wanted to break that down real quick so you can understand that people's sun sign activates certain things in your houses. So if you don't know your rising sign, this is another way you can figure it out. Say you're around somebody, right? And every time you're around them, the conversations you have and the interactions you have and the type of situations you guys be in, to the way you see it, he might or her might be in another perception, but the way you see it, say every time you run into this person or something like that, it's always about work. You know what I'm saying? Every time you link up with this person, y'all going to work. You know what I'm saying? This person always talking about working, whatever like that. And you figure out this person is a Virgo. Say you figure out this person is a Virgo, right? And every time you're around this person, that's the kind of relationship y'all got. Y'all might go to the gym, Planet Fitness, something like that. And, you know, that's y'all relationship, right? And you figure out they're Virgo. Now, if they activate, routine and all that shit, like dealing with routine and shit like that, that's the 6th house. The 6th house. That's the Virgo house. So if they're activating this for you, then that means you have Virgo in the 6th house. You know what I'm saying? That means you have Virgo in the 6th house. Now, if they activate, say you know this person is a Virgo, right? But every time you but say this is not the person that you got the routine with. Say this person you figured out that's a Virgo that you built a bond with. This is your friend and they're Virgo, right? And every time you with them, the relationship is built on like getting together in the neighborhood, like getting everybody together in the neighborhood, going out, linking up, going out, have fun. You know what I'm saying? Maybe these people come up with creative ways, know how to draw, or maybe some type of talent. Maybe y'all like to go skating. Like say y'all like to go out and stuff like that, and this person is a Virgo. And y'all and every time you link up with this person, y'all built a bond and relationship on going out and shit like that. Okay, and having fun and this, that, and third, and performing and doing stuff like that, and this person is a Virgo. Well, to you, this person will activate your 5th house. Because if this is the conversation y'all mostly having, and this is how y'all most agreeable, how y'all like to kick it. Because, you know, say you have a lot of friends. You see all your friends different. And this is why. They all activate different parts of your house. So if you have a friend and they're both the same, they're both Virgos, they're gonna activate the same house. You're gonna like doing that specific thing with both of them. So say y'all both like y'all like going out and stuff like that, and they're Virgos, right? They activate your 5th house. So what you can do is start from the 1st house and see what would land, see how will Virgo land on the 5th house. So a Virgo on the 5th house, then the 4th house must be Leo. The 3rd house must be Cancer. The 2nd house must be Gemini, and the 1st house must be Taurus. So boom, that's how you can know it was your 1st house. Because these people, these Virgos, activate your 5th house, so Virgo is in your 5th house. Their sun sign is in your 5th house. So that's what's activated when y'all are around each other, and that's how you best get along with them. So if you can reshape, that's another way you can figure out your rising sign. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? The shit is here for us to know. It's just people trying to learn the shit now. You know what I'm saying? That's how you can know. Now, like, say you attracted to somebody, right? And you don't know why. And y'all eventually get together. And then y'all start realizing y'all not meant to be. So y'all break up. The reason why y'all was attracted because that person's sun sign might have attracted your 7th house. So you might be a person running around on Earth and not knowing your rising sign, right? And this person is a Capricorn, right? And then they activate your 7th house. You're attracted to them. Then you got Capricorn in the 7th house. You know what I'm saying? But so when y'all get together, y'all might not understand why y'all wasn't meant to be. That's because y'all wasn't y'all rising sign. Your rising sign might be completely different. Your rising sign might not be the same opposite as the sun sign. And this deals with the earth sign too. You know what I'm saying? I got the earth sign astrology. Y'all could go look on that video. You know what I'm saying? And shit. You know what I'm saying? If they're Capricorn and you're attracted to them, they may be in your 7th house. They sun sign activates your 7th house because it's in your 7th house. And so if you start from the 1st house, your 1st house gonna be Cancer. If Capricorn in your 1st house is gonna be Cancer. Now their rising sign might be a different rising sign. So this is why y'all run into problems. But yeah, that's just another way, a little quick video, even though that wasn't really quick because I had to do a little rundown. But you know, that was a little video how to explaining how another way you could figure out your rising sign. Flight boss, bitch.